How many people from Singapore that come today? 10 of you.
Oh, we have group lah. 10 là cái nào? Malaysia.
On the way. But right now we have 10.
Yeah.
Now we have got 9.
9. Okay. And how many meditators?
We are learning.
So no meditator yet, just merit makers. In Buddhism we have two levels, the merit maker level and the meditator level. If you are a merit maker, you make dana and keep the 5 precepts. If you are meditator, you keep the 8 precepts and you meditate. You develop samatha bhavana and vipassana bhavana. If you are a meditator, you should stay in one place. Don't go around, because your mind cannot be quiet, cannot become still if you move around. If you go to different temples, different monasteries to make merit, to give dana, then you cannot develop meditation efficiently. So you have to decide what you want to be. If you still want to be making dana, then you have to accept the fact that you will not be able to develop meditation effectively. If you want to be a meditator, then you have to forget about going to different temple monasteries to give dana. You have to stay in a secluded place, quiet place, be alone, and concentrate on your development of mindfulness. Because if you have no mindfulness, you will never get any result from meditation. You can sit for hours and hours and you get nothing, because your mind keeps thinking about this and that. If you want to calm your mind, make your mind peaceful and happy, you have to focus on one object. Focus your mind on one object. You cannot think about this and that aimlessly. Like you have to recite the Buddha's name, Bhutto, 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 all the time, not just during the time when you meditate, when you sit down. You have to develop from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. So when you wake up, you open your eyes, you have to start meditating right away. Developing mindfulness right away. That is, you have to start reciting the name of the Buddha, Bhutto, Bhutto, mentally, inside. While you go about your business, you open your eyes, you start to recite the name of the Buddha, Bhutto, Bhutto. As you get up, as you go to the bathroom to clean up, to wash your face, to take a shower, to get dressed, all the time you should be reciting Bhutto, Bhutto. If you want to have mindfulness, if you want to be successful in your meditation, because the goal of meditation is to stop your mind from thinking. When you stop your mind from thinking, your mind will converge, become one, and it will become peaceful and happy, and you will discover your true self. Your true self is the mind, not the body. And when the mind stops thinking, you will see the true mind, which is the one who knows. See, if you keep thinking, you will not see the one who knows. You'll see your thought instead. Like if you want to see the television screen, you have to turn off the television. Then you can see the screen, pure screen, no images on the screen. If you turn on the screen, then you cannot see the screen because the images will be superimposed on the screen. So you don't know what the real screen look like. Just like the mind, you will not see the mind in its true form. If you keep thinking, you'll see your thought instead of the mind. So you don't know what the mind actually is. But when you meditate and you stop your mind from thinking, then you'll get to know the mind, which is the one who knows, the knower. And this is where you will learn to be the mind. Instead of being your thought, you should be the mind. Because your thought is just an illusion, not real. We think we are somebody, we think we are a man, a woman, we are Singaporean, we are Thai. These are all illusion, not real. The real is that we are all the one who knows, we are the knower. The mind is the knower. See, if we all know that we are the same, then there wouldn't be any problem. The problem is we think we are different, so we are different. And then we start quarreling because we have different thoughts. We think we like this and you think like that. And when they collide, you have problems. But if we all know that we are the same, we are the knower, and we need the same thing. The same thing that we need is peace. Peace of mind. Not wealth, not money, not status, not things, not people. These things don't make you really happy. They make you sad because they are temporary. They are impermanent. When you acquire them, you get happy. When someone gives you money, you're happy. But when you lose that money, you become sad. And sooner or later, no matter how much money you can acquire, one day you will have to lose it all. Because life is temporary. Your body is temporary. When your body dies, you lose everything that you have acquired. So these things are not real happiness. The real happiness is the mind in its peaceful state. You have to make the mind peaceful, stop thinking. When you have come to that point, then you don't have to have anything. Don't have to have money, don't have to have status, don't have to have a husband or wife. You don't have to have anything.
Sorry.
Give me a chance to take a drink. So what meditation does is to bring you back to your true self, to find your true requirement, what you really need, what really is good for you. When you meditate, when your mind becomes peaceful and calm, you'll discover peace of mind, and you will find real happiness from peace of mind. And this real happiness, this peace of mind, is not temporary. It lasts forever because it stays with the mind, and the mind lasts forever. The mind is not like the body. When the body dies, what happened to the mind? The mind go look for a new body, get reborn. See, the mind doesn't die with the body, but since it's still deluded, it goes after the unreal happiness, the false happiness that you acquire from getting money, getting status, getting things and people. So you need a body to be able to acquire this thing. So when you lose this body, this body dies, your mind still wants to have the same kind of thing that you used to have. So you have to go get a new body. That's why we are continually reborn, keep reborning all the time. We lose this body, we go and look for a new body. And before we can get a new body, we first have to go pay our karma. If we build up bad karma, we have to go be born as undesirable creatures, like being animals, or have to go to hell if we do bad karma. If we do good karma, we'll go to heaven first before we come back down and become a human again, be reborn as a human again. So this is the what happens after the body die. The mind has to go on to do whatever it has done to pay the due, like paying your debt. If you do bad karma, you go pay your debt. If you do good karma, you go receive the reward from your good karma. And when you have expired those debt or those rewards, then you come back and become a human again. But if you can meditate and make your mind calm and peaceful and eliminate the desire that caused you to go born again, then you don't have to be born again. Then you become like the Buddha and the noble disciple. They don't have to be born again. And that state of not being reborn is called Nibbana. And that is the goal of our meditation. We want to be in Nibbana. Because Nibbana is peaceful and is permanent, long-lasting, forever. You don't have to experience a single drop of suffering. But as long as you still born again, you will have to be subjected to different kinds of suffering. You suffer when you get old, you suffer when you get sick, you suffer when you die. And we would not be able to know this thing without the teaching of the Buddha. If we have no Buddhism to teach us, we will be doing the same thing over and over again. That is going after the false kind of happiness, going after money, going after status, going after possession, people and things, going after the pleasure that you derive from seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, and touching. But this kind of happiness are temporary and they never fulfill. They never make you content or full. You always hunger for more. And this hunger that will drive you to go reborn again when this body die. But when you come and meet the teaching of the Buddha, and you have faith in his teaching and follow his teaching by giving up the happiness that you've been acquiring, because you know that it's not the right kind of happiness, not the real kind of happiness. You want to develop the right kind of happiness. So you have to give up your possession, your money, your status, and become a meditator. See, that's the purpose of dana. The real purpose of dana is for you to give up all of your money. Don't rely on your money as a means of making you happy, because it doesn't. Instead of making you happy, it makes you more unhappy, because finding money, looking for money is not easy. You have to work hard to get money. And when you get the money, you spend it quickly. And the happiness that you get from spending your money is very briefly. you spend it and it's gone, and no more money. Then you have to go back to work hard again to get that money again. So this is not the right kind of happiness. The Buddha said the right kind of happiness is to meditate until your mind becomes peaceful and calm. Then you will have the real happiness. And this kind of happiness doesn't require any money. You don't have to have any money. All you need is to have the time to meditate. You need a good, quiet location to meditate. That's all you need. And by being a monk, this is the best. It's the best way, because when you become a monk, you will have quiet location to meditate, and you don't have to work to get money to pay for your food, your rent, your clothing, your medicine, because it's all provided by the Buddhist community, by the people who like to make dana, give dana, but don't like to meditate. Like you like to give dana, so you give dana to monks, so monks can meditate. Okay. But eventually, when you want to become monks or what you call meditators, then you have to stop giving dana, or give all the money that you have that you don't need, so that you don't have to have any worry. You don't have to look after the money anymore. Then you will have the whole time of your life to meditate. When you have the time, and when have the right kind of location, a quiet place to meditate, you will be able to eventually make your mind become peaceful, calm, become one. When the mind become one, you will know how to take care, looking after your mind, how to keep it peaceful and happy all the time. So this is what you have to do. You have to develop, when you first start as a Buddhist follower, you're like first entering going to school. So you have to start at the kindergarten level, and then you move on to the elementary level, the secondary level, and then eventually to the highest level, to college and university. So when you first begin as a Buddhist, you are told to give dana and to keep the 5 precepts, because it's easier than keeping the 8 precepts and meditate. But after you have been giving dana and keeping the 5 precepts, you will have developed enough strength to move up to the next level. If you can maintain the 5 precepts, and if you can give generously and not wanting to spend money to buy happiness, then you don't have to work, or you don't have to work a lot. You might work just enough to exist, but you don't want to work so that you can become rich, so that you can buy a big house, buy a big car, and go to places so that you can be happy. Then you don't have to work too hard. Work just enough to give you the time to meditate, to keep the 8 precepts. And if you meditate and you succeed, you get result. The result will make you want to practice more. Then you will want to become a monk if you are a man. If you are a lady, you might want to become a machi, and so that you can have the full time to practice. Don't have to worry about going to work, making money to pay for your food, your rent, your expenses, because you won't have any expenses, and all the expenses will be paid for by other Buddhist supporters. So this is what you should aim for, not just keep doing dana year after year, year after year. You should try to keep the 8 precepts on the weekly basis. Like today is a Buddhist holiday, what we call Observance Day. This is the day when Buddhists will keep the 8 precepts instead of the 5 precepts, and they will meditate instead of going out to find happiness outside of the mind. You want to bring your mind, come inside the mind to find the happiness inside your mind. So this is what people do normally in Thailand. They usually come to stay in the temple for the day and night to keep the 8 precepts, to listen to Dhamma talk, and then to meditate, either walking or sitting. Before you can meditate effectively, you first have to develop mindfulness, just like I said earlier. So you have to be constantly mindful by reciting the Buddha name, or you can be mindful of your body movement. Whatever your body is doing, focus on that movement, on that action alone. Don't let your mind go think about other things. If you can focus, you can maintain this. You can, when you sit in meditation, you can focus on one object and maintain that focus, and your mind will become peaceful and calm. So when you have peace and experience the happiness from peace of mind, you'll discover this is the greatest kind of happiness. It is far greater, better than any kind of happiness that you have experienced before in your life. And so when you have this, you want to have more. So you, instead of keeping the 8 precepts for just once a week, you might increase to twice a week, 3 times a week. Keep increasing, try to find more time to meditate. Reduce your working hours down, or eventually stop working altogether if you think you have enough money to support your practice. If you are a meditator, you won't spend too much money, because you will spend only on the necessity, not on the luxury items, because they are not important. You don't need them. All you need is just to eat once a day for food. And your clothing, you had enough clothing. You have a place to stay. You're not sick, so there's no other expenses. So when you don't spend money, you don't have to look for money. You don't have to work to get money. So you have the time, instead of spending the time making money, you spend the time making peace of mind. Developing mindfulness first. And they go together. You have to keep developing mindfulness all the time, whatever you do, from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. And when you have nothing to do, you sit down and meditate. Try to sit as long as you can, as many times as you can. Because the more you do it, the more result you will receive. The more happiness you become. The more happy you become. And eventually you will have happiness all the time. The happiness that you have acquired from meditation will last only when you're sitting, when your mind becomes concentrated and peaceful. But when your mind withdraw from that state and start to come back to the normal state, your mind will start thinking and start having desire. When that happens, the peace of mind that you have acquired from meditation will disappear. If you want to protect that peace of mind, you must stop your desire. You must not follow your desire. Do what your desire wants you to do. In order to do this, you need to develop vipassana or insight. You have to see that by doing what your mind wanted to do. I was talking earlier about being a meditator and being a merit maker. In Buddhism, we have two levels of practice: giving dana and keeping the 5 precepts. It's considered to be the entry level. And for advanced level, you go into ไม่เป็นไร
เพิ่มเสียงให้ดังขึ้น
ฮะ
เพิ่มเสียงให้ดัง
ไม่
ขึ้น
ต้องเดี๋ยวพอแล้วมันจะหอน When you first learn about Buddhism, you are taught to practice the entry level, to give dana and to keep the 5 precepts. But after you have done that, then you're supposed to move up to the advanced level, that is keeping the 8 precepts and meditate. Samatha Bhavana, Vipassana Bhavana. Like on today we call One Pra in Thai, which is a special weekly observance day in which Buddhists keep the 8 precepts instead of the 5 precepts and stay in the temple for one night to listen to the Dhamma talk and to practice meditation. So this is the 2 levels that you should develop. If you cannot yet meditate, then you try to keep the 5 precepts and try to give dana. Share the money that you don't need to keep with other people. Instead of using money to buy things to make you happy, the Buddha said you should share it with other people and you will become happier. The happiness that you share the money is far greater than the happiness that you get from spending money to buy things. And when you have the happiness, you will be content to a certain level, and you can maintain the 5 precepts easily. If you cannot give dana, you want to keep the money for yourself, you want to make money for yourself, you will find it difficult to keep the 5 precepts. Because when you work, when you want to make money, sometimes you find keeping the 5 precepts to be an obstacle. But if you don't need to spend money to buy things to make you happy, then you don't have to be so so single-mindedly aiming at making the money. Then you can keep the 5 precepts. If you want money real hard, you want fast money and easy money, sometimes you find it easy to lie, to cheat, to make the money, to get the money you want. But if you don't need to have that money that bad, then you can keep the precept. Then you say you will only work for money in such a way that you don't have to cheat, or you don't have to lie. You don't have to be dishonest. So dana is the first level that will help you to go to the second level, to keeping the 5 precepts first. If you are generous, you are kind and you are sharing your money, your wealth. Instead of acquiring wealth and for yourself, you're sharing with others. It gives you a sense of kindness, gives you a sense of responsibility. You don't, whatever you do, you don't want to hurt other people. If you want to make money, you want to make sure that this money is clean. It's not tainted, hurting other people. So then, if you can give dana, it will make your mind have compassion, have kindness, have consideration for other people. So you will be able to keep the 5 precepts. And when you have maintained the 5 precepts, you can move on up to the 8th precept. First, you try it on a special day like today. Today is one pra. Once a week, the Buddha said that Buddhists should stop working, stop making money, and use that day to share the money that they have earned, and to come to the temple to practice meditation, to listen to the Dhamma talk. Because when you stay in the temple, you have an appropriate surrounding. The temple is normally quiet, free of distraction. If you try to meditate at home, you might find it difficult because there are all sorts of distractions. People might be eating in the evening, people might be watching television, turning on the radio, playing music, all sorts of things. And that would be difficult to meditate in that kind of surrounding. But if you come to stay in the temple, especially if you can go to a forest temple, forest monastery like up here, you'll notice that there's not much distraction. Up here we don't even have electricity. The reason why we don't want electricity is because to cut off the source of distraction. Because when you have electricity, you can have television, can have all kinds of gadgets that can generate all sorts of distraction. But when you don't have electricity, you cannot have anything. So this is what the temple is for. It's a place to meditate, to find peace of mind. Because the happiness that arises from peace of mind is the greatest kind of happiness that you will experience. If you have experienced the happiness that arises from peace of mind, you will not want to have any other kind of happiness. If you have happiness from living with your spouse, you want to leave them. If you have happiness from spending money, buying things, you want to stop, because they are not as good as the happiness that you can get from peace of mind. That's the reason why people, when they have discovered this kind of happiness, they want to leave the livelihood of the householder. They want to become a monk. They want to become a professional meditator, because they want to acquire this happiness all the time. And you can only do this is when you become a monk, because when you become a monk, you don't have to do other kind of activity. You can concentrate on meditating all day long, from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. So you will have this happiness all the time. So you have to understand that your work as a Buddhist is not just simply giving dana and keeping the 5 precepts. This is just the beginning, a starting point. First you have to go to temple to give dana, because then you can also listen to the Dhamma talk, receive Dhamma books, And when you read or when you listen to Dhamma talk, you will get a better understanding of what you should be doing, like keeping the 8 precepts, developing mindfulness, sit in meditation, walking meditation, in order to calm your mind. And after you have calmed your mind, when you come out of your sitting meditation, your mind will start to think again. So you have to try to prevent your mind from thinking or desiring. If your mind desires to have something that is not necessary, like you want to go watch television or going out just for seeing, hearing, you should stop it, because you might get the happiness, but it's a brief happiness, and it can make you addicted. You will want to do it again and again. If you have this desire and you follow this desire, then you will have conflict, because on the other hand you want to meditate, and you might find it difficult because on the other hand your mind want to go outside instead of want to come in. So you have to develop insight or vipassana. Vipassana is to teach you that the happiness that you gain from doing what your desire wants you to do is brief and is harmful to you, because when you cannot acquire that kind of happiness when you want it, you will become unhappy, you will become miserable. But if you can resist and stop your desire, not follow your desire will eventually disappear. They won't come back. They won't bother you. So the way to eliminate your desire is to resist all your desire. Every time you desire to do something that is not necessary, that has nothing to do with maintaining your existence, then don't bother, don't do it, because it's a trap. It will get you into deeper, like people who start smoking cigarettes or start drinking. Once they start drinking or smoking, they cannot stop. They have to keep on doing it. And when they have to stop, they will have to experience very bad feeling. But this is something you have to go through if you want to be cured. If you want to be cured of your desire, you have to resist your desire. And when your desire comes up, you resist. If you never have any peace of mind, you'll find it difficult to resist. But if your mind have peace of mind from meditation, your mind will be strong enough to resist and will not experience any pain. But you have to remind your mind not to follow your desire, not to do what your desire wants to do. Because everything that you do is impermanent. Everything that you get is impermanent. When you get it, you are happy. But when you lose it, you will become unhappy. Like when you get a boyfriend or a girlfriend, you are happy. But when you lose your boyfriend or your girlfriend, you will become sad. So it's better not to have it at all from the start. Better go back to meditate and have this peace of mind instead. So when you have desire and you feel that you cannot resist it by using your judgment, your reasoning, then just go back to meditate. Go back to calm your mind. When your mind is calm, your desire will disappear. So this is what you have to do after you come out of your meditation. You want to maintain your peace of mind by resisting your desire. If you have the wisdom or the insight to see that your desire is the cause of your mental suffering, in the Four Noble Truths, the Buddha said, your mental suffering, your stress, arises from your desire. When you want something, your mind starts to become nervous, agitated. And when you don't get what you want, you become upset, you become angry. But if you have no desire, then there would be no such thing happen. But once you have the desire, then you have to reason with your mind that whatever you want, it is only temporary, it's only good for a while. And then you will have to get more in order to make you happy again. It's like smoking a cigarette. When you smoke a cigarette, you feel happy. But after a while, you want to smoke another cigarette in order to make you happy again. But if you don't smoke, then you become unhappy. So it's better to become unhappy by resisting your desire to smoke. Because after a few times, your desire will disappear. Then you will not have any problem with smoking anymore. So this is what you have to do after you have come out of your meditation. The goal of Buddhist practice is to eliminate your desire, mainly the three groups of desire. One is the desire for sensual objects, like sight, smell, taste, body object. We call kama tanha, the desire for sensual objects. And the second kind of desire is the desire to be something, to be somebody, to be rich, to be famous. This is what we call bhava tanha, becoming, the desire to become. The third one is the desire not to become. Don't want to get old, don't want to get sick, don't want to die, don't want to be poor, don't want to go through hardship. But life is something you cannot choose sometimes. They come, and you can face them by eliminating your desire not to face them. If you can stop your desire from not wanting to face them, you can face them peacefully, and it will not affect your mind at all. So these are the three types of desire that the Buddha said you have to eliminate. Smoking cigarette falls in the first group of desire, the desire for sensual objects. Because when you smoke, you touch the cigarette, you taste the cigarette, you smell the cigarette, and you become happy by that process. But it gets you to become addicted, because then you want to have another cigarette later on, and you have to keep on having it and have more and more of it. Then your body will get sick from it. Then you will have to stop anyway, because the doctor will say, if you keep on smoking, you'll die, or you'll get lung cancer, and the doctor will have to remove your lung. So it's better to use common sense. Common sense is vipassana, to see what is good and bad for you. Stop doing things that is bad for you. The Buddha said all the three desires are bad for you. Don't have them. Don't have any desire for any sensual object. Don't have any desire to be rich, to be famous, to be beautiful, or to be handsome. Just let it be. Let the body be. So long as you can exist, that's enough. If you can have enough food to eat, you have a place to stay, that's all you need. Don't need any more than that. Any more than that will be cause of your suffering, not happiness. And the same way with the desire not to be. Once you are born, you have to be old, you have to be sick, you have to die. There's nothing you can stop or prevent this process from happening. But you can live with it, face it without having any problem. If you can eliminate the desire not to get old, not to get sick, and not to die. The desire is the problem, not getting sick or getting old or dying. If you don't have no desire, you will be peaceful when you're old. You will be peaceful when you're sick. You will be peaceful when you die. That's the mind of the Buddha and all the noble disciples, because they have eliminated that desire from their mind. So the goal of Buddhist practice, meditation, is to eliminate this harmful desire from your mind. And once you have done that, your mind will be peaceful all the time. Being peaceful all the time is called Nibbana. You can have Nibbana before you die. Nibbana is not happen when you die or after you die. It happens right now, here and now. The moment you can eliminate all your desire from your mind, you have achieved Nibbana. That's what happened to the Buddha when he sat under that Bodhi tree on the 6th month of the lunar calendar. On the full moon night, he achieved that. He had eliminated all the desire from his mind. So from that moment on, he has no suffering anymore, no stress, no unhappiness, no sadness, no worry, no anxiety, no fear, nothing. All there is peace and happiness forever. The mind of the Buddha is like this even today, and will be forever. Your mind and my mind will be the same if we can develop this meditation practice and eliminate all the desire from the mind. So this is what we're supposed to do, not just to go to this temple or that temple, give money, and then forget about everything else. This is just a starting point. To go to temple so you can listen to Dhamma talk, to give dana so you can share your money, and you can become happy by sharing that money, which is a better kind of happiness than having the happiness to spend money just for yourself alone. And you will, in that process, eliminate some of your desire. Like for instance, you want to buy a new bag, a new pair of shoes. Then you say, I have enough bags, I have enough shoes. Why spend more money on something that I already have? Maybe I should just buy or give money to somebody who really needs it. When you give that money to people who really need it, you feel a sense of happiness. You feel that you have given happiness to other people. You see other people happy by your action, by your sacrifice. Then your mind become peaceful and happy. Then the next time when you want to spend money in the same way, you do the same thing again. Then eventually you would not have any desire to buy things just to make you happy a few days. It's better to be happy many days afterward, because the dana that you do, even when it happened many months ago, if you think about it, it can still make you feel happy. But the bag or the thing that you buy a few months ago, when you think of it, it will not make you feel happy. Instead, it will make you want to buy a new bag in order to make you feel happy again. So this is what the purpose of dana is. And also help you to be kind and generous and compassionate. That will make you to be able to keep the 5 precepts. And once you can keep the 5 precepts, you'll find the benefit of keeping the precept, because your mind will become free and at ease. You don't have to worry. It's not when you do something, when you break the 5 precepts, you feel bad. You feel afraid. You might have to pay what you have done. Like if you steal money from someone, or you cheat on your wife or your husband, see, you feel bad right away. But if you can maintain the 5 precepts, then you won't have this bad feeling. You have peace of mind. So you'll find that keeping the 5 precepts is beneficial for you. And then you will want to keep the 8 precepts, because you'll find that you'll be more happier. You'll be happier, more peaceful. And if you can keep the 8 precepts, you can meditate. You can go to stay in the temple. Because you don't have to watch television. You don't have to go outside to to a party or to to sightseeing or to nightclubs, to pubs and bars, because you can maintain the 5 precepts, the 8 precepts. Then you can go stay in the temple and meditate and achieve a higher kind of happiness. So this is what you should do. Try to move up the ladder, not just to stay on the first level. Just keep, every year you come back, you come here and give dana, and you don't keep the 5 precepts, or you don't go to the temple and meditate. So you will never go forward. You will be stuck in one place. That's not the goal of Buddhism. The goal of Buddhism is to move forward, to become a noble disciple eventually. Okay, I think I said enough. And if I'll let anybody have a question to ask, I will entertain those questions now. Anybody wants to ask anything? Okay, I'll give the blessing.
Okay, sit down for a blessing. Sit
Yat tha varik vaha pura parik purenti sakalang evameva ito tinang petanang upakapati ichitang patitang tumhang kipameva samicchatu sapphe purentu sankapa janto panara soyatha manichoti Raso yatha sapitiyo vivajantu sapparoko vinasatu mate bhavatavantarayo sukhiti khayuko bhava apivatanasi litsa nityang vuttha pacayino jataro dhamma vatanti ayuvano sukhang Palang. I hope you all can meditate and become enlightened one day. Do you have any question today? Okay. We have places for women, but you have to make reservation, which is quite a long queue. I think it's a couple months already long, but you can make reservation. It's like a house, not a house, but a kuti, like in the forest, which is not far from here, in the same surround, in this big area here, and you can stay for 7 days at one time. Huh? No, this is where you come and do your own meditation. No group, nothing. You're supposed to isolate yourself and stay in your place. You can order food. There'll be a cook, a lady who will cook for you and deliver the food to your place. You eat once a day, or sometimes if you like, you can fast. Many people come and practice, and they like to fast because it will help solve the hindrance problem. If you eat, sometimes you get sleepy, you cannot meditate. But when you fast, you feel alert. So many people like to fast when they come to meditate. Men, we have some platform with the walking path in the forest here, but it's very, very basic. No running water, no electricity, and you have to bring your own sleeping gear. You have to have mosquito net, that sort of thing. And you can only come alone. We want people just to come alone, because if they come together, they tend to Right. If you want, you can come and talk to the monk after 4 o'clock. There will be some monk coming down here to have their refreshment.
Where should I go?
For you, you have to call the lady who right. You have the Kunpuk number. I have here. มีก็อยู่นี่รู้สึกเรามีอยู่หมอมีเลยแน่ใจหรือเปล่าแต่ว่าคุณปลุกออฟเฟอร์แล้วมันตึงหรืออีเมลไปก็ได้ Can you email? Yeah, you have, it's better to email to this lady because she มีใครมีอีเมลของคุณปลุกบ้างปลุกบุญญา
พอปุ๊บมาเลยถวายปัจจัย 62,300 ครับนี่ก็เป็นรองประธานวัดว่าจะแต่งเข่งนั่งตึ้งเลยนะเดี๋ยวให้กบนั่งขี้เลย
You from Malaysia or from Singapore? Malaysia. Is this your first time to Thailand?
没有，我是第一次来这边。
First time come to here.
First here. You like it here?
喜欢这里吗？
喜欢。我有 meditation。
Yeah. Okay. Read my book. You can read my book. Yeah. She doesn't read English.
不要听英文哦。
不会。
不会。Maybe translate into Chinese. Yeah. To Mandarin. To Mandarin.
这是 meditation vipassana。
Yeah, vipassana. Sujiwa. Sujiwa. Ajahn Sujiwa. Good. Okay. Good for you.
One day we taught a right, which is against our own precepts, but we didn't do it. It's just a thought that rise. Normally,
if you haven't done any action yet, it's not wrong. It's not.
So
but
what do we do to practice?
You can use the mantra to stop it. When you start thinking about bad thing, you just keep repeating the mantra, Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. Then that thought will eventually lose the strength.
So you don't say, no, this is not me.
You don't have to do that because it will not listen to you anyway. Okay. If you keep talking to it, it will argue with you. Okay. It's better just to use the mantra and forget about it.
Oh, just forget about it.
Yeah, just Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. Then eventually it will disappear. Okay.
Started reading your book.
I see.
Very interesting.
What do you think? Okay? Good enough?
Oh, very good. Very good.
Not good enough. 7. Today's sermon is the best one I had.
Really?
Yeah, because I had the Burmese Kara also. Sometimes I could understand, sometimes I don't. So, but here it's very clear. Easy to understand. And when I read the book, it was really interesting. I couldn't stay, just keep on reading.
Reading. Interesting. Huh?
Interesting, and I thought of coming here to meditate, but I saw all the up and down flight. So there should be a meditation center somewhere here.
The temple and below they have place to stay, but they are more sort of together. It's a big building and with rooms, each individual rooms, but you still have to live with other people. So you don't have the seclusion you want. But for most people who started, that's good enough for them because they don't want to be alone. They're afraid of the ghost. So you might not like to stay here because it's individual house, far separate from the other houses. But you need this place to force you to become afraid. So it will force you to force you to meditate. See? When you're afraid, then you have to sit down, Bhutto, 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 and then eventually, when your mind becomes calm, the fear will disappear.
We sat for many days, and we didn't get it. Sometimes a bit only. It's not enough. So when we came on Wednesday, and he taught us how to meditate and reciting mentally. So Arahant, I use Arahant.
Anything you can use. Yeah. Yeah.
Really,
your mind become calmer now.
Yeah.
You need something to control your thoughts. See?
So I could. I did it. Sometimes it was roaming around. So then I started just Arahant, it went away. But it's just a starting point.
You have to just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Make it continuously.
Yeah.
It's like a break that will stop your mind from thinking.
So
But your mind will not converge into one, become totally still until you sit down. You have to sit down. Your body has to be still first before your mind can become still. Because it's the mind that directs the body. As long as the body still have to direct the body, it cannot be still. But when the body sits still, then the mind can leave the body alone, and then it itself can become totally still. When you have achieved that, you achieve the maximum peace of mind, the maximum happiness.
Keep trying.
Yeah, you have to try. It's not something you can do it overnight.
Right.
For some people, it might take years, not just days.
it takes years and years.
Yeah. But at least you get some feel of it. You know that this is the right way. This is what you want. But somehow you just couldn't get to that.
Now we have more guidance from you.
Yeah.
The real teacher, you're real teacher. Last night we were talking about you, and I got something,
Yes.
in teaching. So
When you meditate, you want to be alone, so you can concentrate on your meditation object, and not let your mind wander.
the house is like very peaceful. Nobody inside. Just two of us. Just we couldn't
Yeah.
each other.
That's good then.
Yeah,
You have good place.
No sound, nothing. So it's really.
You can meditate at home. You don't have to come to the temple, because sometimes the temple is not as quiet as your own home, because you have to have other people coming. Since they are the entry level, they are subjected to go do group meditation, group chanting also. So it would not be good for advanced level meditator. If you're advanced, you want to be alone. That's why I have these houses built for the more advanced meditator. People who want to be alone, want to concentrate on their practice, not having to go and do group chanting or group meditation.
I like this. I want to be alone.
Yeah.
And to get that real meditation.
I see.
That helps me only.
Then you have to come to these houses that we have built. If you go to the temple, you will be subjected to these rules, because they.
And then in the group, and sometimes I'm not Thai, so
Right.
I couldn't
And they start
understand.
talking to you and they're asking you all sorts of
Simple
questions.
nothing.
Yeah. So you don't want to go to that place.
So, but I'll come. The only thing is we don't understand Thai, and I feel guilty for other people. Instead of talking to us, it's not that fair. Very not.
If you want to take a look at these houses, I think one of the ladies here can show you. It's not far from here. It's on the way out. Anyone who wants to volunteer? Tumก็ได้ she can take you, show you the houses. So you can get a sense of what it's like, and then you would know whether you want to come and stay or not.
So this is our pleasure to look around and then to do the meditation.
Yeah.
In the life, meditation is the best one. So I don't want to come to this life again. So according to the teaching today, you can get Nibbana if you try.
Right. If you practice, it's not whether you are a man or woman, or you are a monk or not a monk. It's not important. If you have the Noble Eightfold Path, if you can practice the Noble Eightfold Path, you can become an Arahant. That's the cause and effect. See? If you have this, you'll get this. If you don't have this, you don't get this. That's all. Most people don't have this, so they don't get this. For people who have this, they get this. Like all the teachers that we pay respect to, they have the Noble Eightfold Path, so they become Arahant. Simple as that. Nothing to prevent you from being an Arahant except your own action, attitude. If you think you cannot become an Arahant, you already prevent yourself from becoming one. But if you think if somebody else can do it, I can also do it, then you will become one eventually.
If someone can do it, I can do it.
That's right, because we are all the same. No different, yeah.
There's no difference. Thank you very much for all your teachings. And we have to come every week on Friday. And I'm just thinking that the thing about the Thai people, I will say behind, and when we have time to talk, then I'll talk to you.
Okay.
Because I don't want to take the other people's time.
Okay. But sometimes a lot of Thais also can listen to English, and they don't mind listening to. Sometimes listening to English is clearer than listening to Thai.
Then that's right.
Because English forces you to be more precise.
Yes.
Thai language is more sort of not precise. Like we don't have singular or plural. We can use a word that could mean he or she or it,
And you're using all the simple English only. And like in Burmese, they're talking with Pali also. It's very hard to understand.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we don't know Pali.
Right.
The meaning of the word. They're talking Pali. They tell in Pali, so it's very hard to understand. For English, it's very easy, just simple English. And it goes directly to the mind. Quickly, you got the answer quickly.
That's the point of teaching. You want to make it clear and precise and easy to understand. You don't want to make it
complicated.
Right. So I avoid all the Pali because I myself, when I study, I didn't study the Pali. I only studied the translated text.
So what I was thinking, if I go back to see my mother, I'm going to teach her again. Last time I went, last month, even last week I came back, so my sister passed away. So I taught her whatever I learned from the monks. I taught her, but she knew more than me. So we just discussed between us. Now I can discuss with her more and how to meditate. She knows how to meditate, but I told in another way what I learned. But now I learn more clearly. Thank you very much for all your teachings.
You're welcome. Okay.
For me, I used to be comforted with Dhamma 5. That lady, she asked me that I use Dhamma 5 after Samatha or Vipassana. I say I use Dhamma 5 for both of the purpose. Usually I use just simply recite when I work in full day. I will recite in Esa Loma Natha Tatha Tato Tato Tanta Natha Loma until I feel like I be peace and calm enough, and then I will try to thinking how is the hair like, and it will be gone. Sometimes when I just start thinking, I know that my peace in my mind is gone. It will attack me for the thinking of the others. That what I know. I said, I answer her that I use Samatha 5 for the both of the Samatha and Vipassana. What is I doing is correct?
If it can eliminate your desire, it's correct. If it cannot eliminate, it's still not correct. The purpose is to eliminate your desire, not to get old. See, when you look at your hair, you want to say, eventually it will turn white and it's gonna lose. You might become bald-headed eventually. Look at the skin, you say the skin is not like this all the time. Eventually it will be wrinkled, and eventually it will be burned. When you die, they put in the incinerator. This is what you have to look at the body to see that this is what will happen, and there's nothing you can stop it. And that you are not the body, you're just the one who possesses the body, but you're not the the true possessor of the body. You cannot possess the body all forever. At one point, the body will not let you possess it. It wants to return to the four elements. So this is what you have to look the body as impermanent. Anatta means there's no self in the body. It's just elements or 32 parts. And where do these 32 parts come from? From the food that you eat, from the air that you breathe, from the water that you drink. So they are all elements. There's nothing that says it's you at all in this body. It's your delusion, the mind's delusion that claims this body as I, as myself. And this delusion causes you to have attachment and have desire for it not to disappear from you, not to get sick, not to get old, not to die. When you have this desire, then you create stress in your mind, suffering in your mind. But if you can see with the true clarity that it is not you and there's nothing you can stop it from getting sick or getting old or die, then you just stop resisting, stop having any desire for it not to become. When you don't have any desire, your mind becomes peaceful. Nothing, It's somebody else. Like you look at somebody else's body. What do you look? What do you feel? Nothing, right? Somebody you don't know. If they get sick, they get sick, because you have no relationship toward that body. You don't have no attachment, no claim to that body. But you have claim to this body. That's the problem. So you must declaim it. You have to decouple, detach your mind from the body. Look at your body like a rented car. You rent at the airport, and when you finish, you get to where you wanted to go. You return the car to the rental company. The body is like that. It's like a car you rent. Takes you to go to restaurant, go to movie houses, going to do all kinds of activities. But eventually, this body will deteriorate, and it will no longer serve you. When it cannot serve you, return it to the original owner. Return it to the four elements. They are the original owner. That's all. But you won't be able to see this until you meditate. When your mind becomes converged into one, it will separate from the body temporarily. When the mind becomes converged, the feeling, the knowledge of the body will disappear from the mind. So you know that the mind and the body are not together all the time. They're only together when your mind come out of meditation. But when the mind go inside, become concentrated, become one, the mind sort of detached from the body. So you know that there's no problem of giving up the body, because you might think that if you give up your body, you will experience all sort of sadness or misery. In fact, when you give up the body, you have peace of mind. You let go of something that you have to worry about, look after. Once you let it go, you still exist, and you're happier without it. See? So when you know this, you can easily detach the body when you have to. So you must meditate to get this samatha. You have this appana, or the fourth jhana. That's why you want to meditate, want the mind to go into. Because in that state of mind, the mind detached from everything, have no claim on anything. But it's only temporary, because it can only stay in that state for a while, then afterward it will have to withdraw and return to the body. When you return to the body, then you have to constantly remind the mind with vipassana that this body is not you. It's just your servant. Look after it as good as you can, but if you cannot, then just let it go. Because one day you will have to let it go. If you are willing to let it go, you will not suffer any pain or mental stress. The mental stress happens because you resist, you don't want to let it go. You cling to it. Yeah. So you have to destroy this clinging, destroying this desire for the body. You can do it. You keep on teaching your your mind, eventually it will see the difference between attaching and detaching. You'll find that you get peace of mind when you detach. You find that you get stressed when you attach. So what do you want, stress or peace? Okay? I think it's enough time for today. I'll let you all leave. Okay.